Hi, I'm Chris and I'm going to be doing the work today. The work is a technique also called inquiry, where you write down a belief that's causing you stress and you question it. The work's taught by Byron Katie, and I like to film myself working on some of these beliefs. So the belief that I identified that is causing me stress today, I don't know if you can see, but I kind of have like and my eyelid up here is a little inflamed. It might be like a sty or something, I'm not sure. And anything that it kind of relates back to health. And the belief here, and it's actually one of the more universal beliefs, is that my body should be healthy. So that is kind of like, or I could even be more specific and say, oh, I shouldn't have, this problem with my eye. And so the first thing you do is you write down the belief. In this case, I'm going to do that my body should be healthy. And then the belief my body should be healthy, you start putting it up to the 4 questions. The first question is it true? My body should be healthy. And you're supposed to answer a yes or no. So is it true? My body should be healthy. No. I think like what appears for me with that no is I've seen myself sick in these situations, and I even have a current minor problem with my eye. So that's that just feels like an obvious answer, like, hey, my body is going to get sick, I'm going to have health issues. So if your answer to the first question is no, you go to the third question, which is, how do you react? What happens when you believe the thought, my body should be healthy? I feel like it makes me afraid, like having any problem, it makes you afraid, and it tends to like exaggerate and like, oh, this could be some huge issue. And you tend to like overblow anything that could be wrong, and you might even think there's something wrong with your health when there isn't anything wrong, or it just goes away, like you have a minor ache and it's gone, and you don't even notice it anymore. There's definitely a big way to react to this is kind of catastrophizing, or say like, oh, this could be much worse than it is. You also get afraid, like definitely kind of spurs up some fears of like, this could be serious, this could be much worse. And also kind of like judge myself, like, oh, you're not taking good care of yourself. This is your fault that you're sick. Like that could be another belief that I could question. It's like, it's my fault that I have this health problem. I blame myself, when is clearly not the case. So the 4th question is, who would you be without the thought, my body should be healthy? So in this, you just kind of imagine that you were incapable of having this belief, this thought, like this kind of core belief that my body should be healthy. And just imagining myself like unable to have this belief, like it couldn't even cross my mind. I feel like I wouldn't be so worried about anything that comes up, and like even like labeling myself as like, oh, you have this problem or that problem, or this, this disease or this issue. It's a label, and it's not like the reality of the situation in some ways. So I'd definitely be much more at peace. I would be kind of accepting of the body and its limitations and its inevitable failures and becoming sick or unhealthy, in that I would be much more accepting of like the fact that I am going to die eventually. The body's going to fail. It is going to lose all of its health that it had, in that sense. And so I would also be less opposed to reality, or what is truly happening and going to happen. So the turnaround is the last part of inquiry. where you look for beliefs that might be the opposite or that are the opposite of this belief, and you investigate how true they may be, more true or equally true as the original belief. So a turnaround is, or this one is, my body should be unhealthy. How does that feel? Like you kind of try these beliefs on, you see if there's an element of truth to them, and kind of try to imagine situations where that is true. My body should be unhealthy. It definitely like kind of brings to mind situations where like, oh, I get sick, but then I recover and I feel better. And like, sometimes it feels like getting sick sometimes is a reaction to like, oh, you're doing something wrong. Like you're too stressed or something's happening, and it's kind of a signal that you need to change. So in that sense, the body being unhealthy is trying to communicate with you and help you get better. Another thing that comes to mind with this, like this belief, the body should be unhealthy, is the fact that it's inevitable. Like I mentioned, I'm going to die, and the body arises and passes away, and you get sick, and that is what has happened my whole life. And denying it is just, it's unreal. It's like totally unrealistic story. And then what are some other situations where the body should be unhealthy, where that could be true? Nothing's coming to mind right now, but let me see if there are any more turnarounds about my body should be healthy. Another turnaround, it's kind of not the opposite, but it's like a related belief, is my thinking should be healthy. So instead of my body, like the physical body and these issues, is my thinking should be healthy. And in this case, what does it mean for my thinking to be healthy? Like whenever, I always suffer when my thinking opposes reality in some way. And so healthy thinking is thinking that is not opposing reality and is okay with what is. So in that sense, yes, my thinking should be healthy. That feels very true to me. And then another kind of turnaround is I don't know if this is the opposite, but it's like, I am always in perfect health. And that's saying like the body should be healthy, but no, it's actually, you are already always in perfect health. And is that true? I guess what appears to me in that, when I think is that true, is the fact that like all unhealthiness is just an imposed, like usually whenever I'm sick, I'll tell myself a story like, oh, I have this thing wrong with my eye, I got this pain in my shoulder, whatever. It's kind of the story that I'm telling myself is worse than, whereas like it's a label on top of a thing, but there's outside of the label and the story I'm telling myself, am I really unhealthy? Is there really anything wrong? And in a lot of ways, no. Like outside of the story, I can't really identify like, oh, this is imperfect or this is wrong health and it needs to be another way. So I have like perfect health is always available to me outside of my thinking and my labels. Great. So that was the doing inquiry on this belief, my body should be healthy. Thank you.